Well, it's another funky Friday at 5. I'm your host, Mitch Hampton, and this was a very unpredictable, spontaneous Friday. I might have a guest. I don't know yet. Remains to be seen. If I don't have a guest, I'll just talk about what's been on my mind and what's been going on in my life and with the show. If anybody's out there, you can say hi. I'm just going to begin. Here's what I have to say. Hello. I've been immersed in summer-themed art. Not just, I know I always talk about Lifeguard all the time, but actually I watched Eric Rohmer's The Green Ray Summer, and I can't recommend this movie enough. Made in the mid-'80s with Marie Riviere, who she kind of wrote the script with Eric Rohmer. And so a lot of the dialogue is improvised or written by her and their friends. And it takes place in France. It's very French. And I want to say a little bit about it because here's the thing about Eric Rohmer. Eric Rohmer is one of the very few film directors. There's a small handful of people. Cassavetes is in this category, and of course, Piala is in this category, and Jacques Rivette, another Frenchman, but filmmakers who literally put people's emotions, point of view on the screen and allow it to unfold, whatever it is. And it's interesting because unlike his fellow Cahiers du Cinema critics, because he started off doing that before making films, he was, I believe, a political conservative of a sort. And that made him sort of odd person out in his circle. In fact, my friend John Giovito, who's a film director and wrote a great book on Tarkovsky, was mad at Eric Rohmer for making the film Lady and the Duke because it was critical of the French Revolution. That's a film that's from the point of view of a Scottish noblewoman whose life is getting thrown apart by the French Revolution. But I only mention that not to make any political statement at all. In fact, I'm adamantly not a conservative in any way, shape, or form. But to say that sometimes great artists have points of view we may not initially agree with. But what's interesting about Rohmer is people talk incessantly in his films about love and sex and romance. And they talk in this is Rohmer's phrase, in complete sentences. He wanted to make a movie where people talk in complete sentences and with utter freedom and honesty. And there's and so The Green Ray is about this central protagonist, a woman who's lost in her life, who's undergoing a crisis. She doesn't have anybody in her life romantically. She wants somebody in that capacity, but yet she doesn't. And it's the summer and she's trying to vacation and things keep going wrong. And the film is a sort of her journey. And she meets up with people. And this is what I love about this movie. She meets up with people and they all have a point of view about her situation. Some of them want to fix her up with a man. Some men want to try to pick her up. And she meets all these people and everybody has a point of view. Like some people say to her, you need to get out more. You need to go out and meet people. You do this, you need to do that. Now, in most movies, romantic type films that have comedic elements, when a protagonist gets advice from other people, usually the film telegraphs or announces the point of view to have. But in this film, even though the film is very much from her heart, it gives everybody their due. So you have to listen to what people have to say. And we in the audience, we might agree, we might disagree. Um, that's okay. But it's interesting, he gives everybody their due. And so you realize as you're watching this film that this film is about a person searching for something. And she's looking at nature and she's traveling these beaches. And it's just the other thing about Romer is that Romer is very sensual. There's an erotic dimension to his films. His films show uh, women in bikinis and swimsuits. And what's interesting is that these very summer type settings, these people begin talking very intellectually, even cerebrally, at great length. And it's such an amazing combination. And so this main character is kind of, some people would call her an introvert because she's lonely. She wants to be with people. She says, I want to be with people. I'm alone. And yet at the same time, you can see that she really likes solitude and she likes her own inner space. She likes going into that and she wants to preserve that because it's sacred for her. And the whole thing is based on some Jules Verne book that you could see the special ray that's green when the sun sets. And so that's it. That's the film. It's an hour and a half and it's her journey and she's searching for something. And I thought I would talk about that. Um, I don't really know what else to say, except that's a summer-based thing. The summer's coming to an end, I guess. We have a few more weeks. And I sort of feel like that right now I'm getting ready to do this concert on the 4th. And I'm preparing for that. And I'm preparing new episodes. And so I think that, I just had an opportunity to talk to a Latin percussionist, and I was very moved by that discussion because I like to talk about music I like. And I just did a show with a man named Skip Alsheimer, and Skip Alsheimer is an archivist, and he's sort of a world authority on educational movies, industrial films, movies that you were forced to watch in public school. And he has thousands of these films, a lot of them from the 70s. And I was excited to talk to him because he does shows once a day. He does lunchtime shows. And I'm going to start doing more live streams like this stream. And I'm going to start talking about things that inspire me. And so I feel inspired right now to play some music while I have a little bit of time that reflects the summer and the sunshine. And it's going to be completely unplanned. And so we'll see what happens, and hopefully what comes out is fit for the world to hear. So a little bit. I have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, I sort of know, I mean, when you do something like that and you present it to the world, totally spontaneous, it's very vulnerable in a way. And you have all these things that come in. I sort of sit down and think, well, I want to feel, I've been really isolated like a lot of people have, and I haven't been to any beach in years. So I watch movies about beaches, and I did this little piece of music um, about feelings about that, and so express it, which is what all art is. Artists create things to express things that are very often very vulnerable, very interior, and come from the heart, the soul, as people say, to be corny about it, and they present it to the world, and maybe you try to touch people, and that's what it's all about, and that's what I'm doing on my show. And this show is a journey. I'm on a journey. I'm here in this small town in the South, and I'm able to communicate with people like I'm communicating with you. And so I basically have a lot of gratitude that I can do this. I can come here and I can share this, and I hope you like it. And I hope that you feel better after having heard that than you did before, hopefully. And I look forward to the next Funky Friday. That's right. That's right. In the next Funky Friday, we might have another guest to join us. I want to get our producer, Lori, to come on. Lori, you're going to come on this stream. You're going to talk about something. You're going to talk about Edward Albee, or you're going to talk about Charles Dickens, but you're going to come on here eventually. So thank you. Thank you very much. And I hope your weekend is at least a decent one. Thanks. All right.